Hey guys, Clear Blue Realty coming back at you with another video. Clear Blue Realty. Do me a favor, guys, hit that like button and subscribe. Today I'm doing a showing. I'm in front of a home right now. I'm gonna do a video tour. This is a client that I've been working with. Actually, I got this client as a referral. Her sister or her mother bought a home with me last year, and now the daughter referred her mother to me. I've actually shown her some houses in the past, so we're gonna go and look at this house, but it's gonna be a video tour. I'm actually sitting in front of the house today. It's raining out today. It's a little, cold, rainy, but I wanted to give a little bit of advice today. So the advice I have is for first-time home buyers. I'm going to give two nuggets of advice. So I just had a deal that I'm working on. I was able to submit an offer, put that offer in, and it's a nice house, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. The agent, when we submitted the offer, the agent reached out to me and, made a phone call and said, "Hey, your client's really interested in the home?" And I said, "Yes, they're interested. They want this home." He said, "Okay, there's some paperwork that I want you to take a look at, but submit the offer. And once you submit the offer, I'll send you some paperwork." I said, "Okay, send me some paperwork." I don't know, it could be anything, right? It could be something to read. So he sends me the paperwork. We put in the offer, and then shortly after he sends me the paperwork, look at the paperwork. What is it? The first one is a addendum for an appraisal shortfall that he wants the buyers to sign when they sign the contract. For me, that was the first red flag. I said, okay. So the company that's selling the house is actually a relocation company. Anyway, I said, maybe this is something I haven't experienced before. Maybe this is something new. So another document in there said that they would prefer to use their title company. They have a particular relationship with the title companies. There was about 6 or 7 title companies listed, and the buyer should choose one of their title companies. And I said, I've never received this type of paperwork as I'm putting in an offer, and paperwork for the buyers to sign before we actually have a signed contract. So I called up the lawyers and I said, "Hey, this doesn't make any sense to me, and I'm not going to have the buyer sign this. I just want to know, can things be done in this fashion? I'm ex-military. I believe in process, right? And a sequence of steps. Step 1, step 2, and a process, something that you follow every time. That's what I believe in." The lawyer said to me, "No, something like an appraisal shortfall, I wouldn't recommend them doing that, because basically they're giving a guarantee that they're going to cover any loss, or if the house appraises for $200,000 and they offered $250, they would put on an appraisal shortfall that they would cover $50,000 of the difference, or whatever the amount is. It doesn't matter. But typically, it's something that's being done more commonly now with the high property values, not the high property values, but the exaggerated, expansive prices that homes are being sold for at this present day. And because these prices are inflated, the appraisals don't catch up as fast. So a house down the street that sold for $200,000, in another month, somebody up the street wants to sell their house for $230,000, and the house is only going to come back appraised for $200,000 or $210,000, and then there's a gap of $20,000. Then the seller pressures the buyer, "Hey, can you cover any of that gap?" "Oh, I'm not going with you. I'm going to go with another offer because he can cover $5,000. You can't." And that's what's been going on in the market. But For me, I'm not advising any of my buyers to come up with money for an appraisal shortfall unless that is something that they want to do. I'm not really asking about it. If a deal is dependent upon it, I will ask, but that's not something that I'm bringing up. So this agent wants me to have my buyers sign that paperwork. I'm like, let me talk to the lawyers to see. And the lawyers is like, no, we don't. And furthermore, you never have your client sign something like that before they sign the contract and before attorney review. That's what attorney review is for. And also, never have your buyers sign anything or use the seller's title company, because that opens up me and the lawyer to a tremendous amount of risk. Because how do we know that that appraisal company is going to do their due diligence? We have an appraisal company, and the buyer can select their own appraisal company, and we recommend 3 different companies so that they can select from that group of companies that we have vetted. So it's amazing to me some of the, and I'm going to call it a game, some of the games that other agents play. These agents play a lot of games. Be aware of that, guys, who are going into real estate. It's a pressure game. Everybody tries to play pressure. I'm going to pressure you into doing something, and it's not for your better interest. Guys, don't fall into the trap. And this is so that you can be aware and understanding and knowledgeable about what's going on out there. You do not have to sign addendums before you go into attorney review. The only thing you should be signing before you go into attorney review is the contract. And also, during the attorney review, the terms in that contract can change. So the thing is, I don't appreciate being pressured like that, and I'm never going to put my buyers at risk just because somebody wants to get a little check in their feather or a feather in their hat and feel like they've gotten over. What I see a lot in the real estate industry and in the real estate business is people playing on the other party's lack of knowledge. When another party feel as though that you're not knowledgeable about something, they'll try to get the advantage on you, and they will try to trick you. And it's really sad that you have to go through this in the real estate business, but I'm telling you about it. I'm an agent, and I recognize the games. I'm not saying that I recognize all the games, but I recognize a lot of the games right now. And a home is something that will stay with the person who is purchasing it for the next 20 years. And when you put somebody in a compromised position when they're buying a home, you actually put them in a problematic situation for the next 20 years of their life. A bad mortgage affects somebody 20 years down the road. It affects their ability to pay their bills, and it affects their ability to provide for their children. Why would you put a buyer in a contentious situation with his family, or a contentious situation with his or her family, just so that you can get a paycheck? Is that the right thing to do? Is that the right thing to do, to put someone in a financial bind for the next 20 years so that you can get a $3,000 or $4,000 check? Something's wrong with that. Some people, I don't know, morally, they just don't have that foundation of what it means to do the right thing. The right thing in the deal is not for it. I mean, yes, I do want to be compensated. I should get a check, but for doing the right thing for the customer, which is the buyer, which is the homeowner. Did I do my absolute best to make sure that they got the best deal, they got the best house for their particular financial situation? That's really what the key is to this. And I'm sorry, but a lot of other people out there don't see it that way. And to them, it's just about cashing a check. But it's not that way with me. Listen, guys, just throwing out some information. putting some knowledge out there into the atmosphere. Also, shout out to Kevin Samuels. I do feel horrible about his passing. If any of you guys out there know about Kevin Samuels, shoot me some comments. But I appreciated that man because he was doing a lot of things out there for men in general and shedding some light on men's particular situation in America in relationships. So, hey guys, subscribe, comment, hit me with some likes, hit me with some comments. Peace.